Hey there, what is going on YouTube? I am that dude with the PC, and I'm here bringing you a video on REJACK is fucking OP and broken as shit. And sadly, they patched it on the Xbox, but they didn't patch it on PC for reasons I don't know. Now, I'm actually going to show you a breakdown in a second of exactly why it's OP, and also what wasn't fixed and what was fixed on the Xbox version. Now, there was a balancing patch on the Xbox, but this is pre-balancing patch. When the beta came out, supposedly it was so that way it reset your score streaks. However, let's watch. Now, I'm going to go kill this guy, and then I rejack, right? No biggie, no big deal. However, if you pay attention to my score, which is going to be in the lower corner here, let me just cut over to it real fast. Alright. Now pay attention to my score. I'm going to flip it up here in a second. So see I have 425 and a tiny bit of score allocated towards it. Now I'm going to rejack. And then when I come back, you can clearly see that I have the exact same score as before. Now I know that clip's not exactly the best, mostly due to the number of the score that I started at, because you kind of start at 425. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a different clip right here. Now this one's actually a really good example of the fact that it doesn't reset your kill streaks. Let's just wait 1 second. I go over here and then fall down, get rejacked. There we go. Now it was kind of hard to notice, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to slow it down again. So here we go. Let's do a little slow motion play right here. Okay, so you see I have 200 score while I'm reloading my shotgun right before I go down. So now in just 1 second I should rejack. Alright. And now when I come back up, I still have 200 score. Now, this game that I took was literally my first game of Safeguard. I loaded in with the shotgun midway into the second round. I think I was like basically halfway through the second round. And I ended this, we went into overtime and I ended this game with like over a 3 KD. And I know for a fact it was because of the fact that I was able to abuse REJACK and get some absolutely crazy kills. And it's kind of sad, really, that they decided to nerf something on the Xbox and not nerf it on the PC. Now, granted, it is a beta. I'm not really terribly upset that things were nerfed. What I am upset over is the fact that PC is yet again getting shafted, just for reasons I don't know. Maybe PC dev just is focusing more on the crash stuff and doesn't really care about the balancing stuff right now because they're doing it on the Xbox and the PS4 and that's all getting balanced and then you can just port the changes in. No big deal. I honestly don't know the logic behind the decision. I'm not a developer at Treyarch. I don't make those calls. I don't know. But it still just kind of reeks of not... It's just... Like, PC gaming has fought for so long to be taken seriously for a serious game platform, and it's stuff like this, and yes, I realize it's a beta, but it's the fact that stuff like this keeps happening in demos, in retail games, in major AAA titles like this, where PC happens again and again and again and just gets shafted. It's frustrating, really. And again, I'm not expecting them to patch a beta, because it is a beta, but the fact that they did patch it on the Xbox, and they quote-unquote, this is a quote from David Vonderhaar, they haven't decided if they're going to do it on PC or not for the beta. Like, if you're going to do it on one platform, do it on all platforms. Like, that's... Again, there's probably some technical behind-the-scenes stuff that I don't know about, and I'm not going to claim to know about. I'm just speaking from the viewpoint of the average PC consumer. It's frustrating. With that being said, do I think REJACK is completely broken in its current state? Yes. Do I think it needs a nerf? No, actually, I think it doesn't. It really doesn't need to belong in this game. I view balance as something if something shouldn't be allowed in a single game mode, it shouldn't be allowed in all the other game modes. That's kind of how I view balance and design as a whole. And while not a lot of people would agree with me, something like this is completely and utterly OP in Search and Destroy. And if it just breaks the game like that in one game mode, then the fact that it doesn't in other game modes shouldn't be your excuse as to why it's still in the game. Now, Second Chance and Last Stand, Final Stand, whatever you want to call it, they all have a history in Call of Duty. And it's going all the way back to Call of Duty 4. That doesn't mean that just because it's an idea that we've had in the past, that doesn't mean that we should keep using it. And clearly the community outlash against REJACK shows that not everybody likes it. And I mean, like, there are going to be people who say, oh, REJACK's fine, whatever. And, you know, you're always going to have that, especially with overpowered stuff, because they want to keep abusing it. But from, like, an objective standpoint, REJACK doesn't belong in this game. There's a lot of other balancing acts that are, like, especially with the specialists, that are really nice. Like, I like the fact that one of the specialists gives you double kill streaks. I like the fact that one of the specialists, like Glitch, for example, that's really cool and innovative. Like, not very often do you see temporal based effects in video games. Like, it's just not something you see, and it's cool that they went that. And then they just kind of do REJACK, which is just, it seems to me like a half-assed idea that was like, oh well, you know, this idea, like, it's something that we have in our binder of Call of Duty, and let's whip it out and see if we can make it work this time, you know. And it's just, there's so many better ways that you could handle it, but I still feel like this shouldn't be in the game, like, flat out. It just shouldn't. Now, I realize I'm kind of ranting at this point, so I'm going to cut this video short here. I really didn't mean for it to kind of dissolve into a rant like that, but one thing I do want to say is I appreciate all of your likes and comments. Leave one down below if you think REJACK is completely OP and needs to either be nerfed or removed from the game. But leave a comment below if you also think that it's perfectly fine, and tell me exactly why. I'm curious to see what your input is. Hit that like button if you liked this video. Hit the dislike if you didn't like it. Share it, do all that good stuff. If you happen to like the sound of my voice, you know, that's also a reason you could like it. With all that being said, I really appreciate you guys hanging out for this video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you out in the battlefield.